there's just so much there. Um, I mean, the one thing that always, I mean, everybody says, I want to go where, where Christ was crucified. I want to go and walk the whole path where he took to go and be crucified. I want to go to the Jordan River where supposedly he was baptized. I actually I'm more interested in the Old Testament stuff, to be honest. I want to go where the mountain that Moses went to die, basically, because he wasn't allowed in the Promised Land. I'd like to go to some of the places where that are mentioned in the book of Joshua, where Joshua conquered certain kings in those areas, and certain battles happened. So that would be really nice. I'd like to go to those places. It'd be really great, and obviously, you want to go to Jerusalem. You want to spend all that time there and really get a feel for the culture and and just the stuff. I mean, look at what we have here in this country. You go to the United States, and you're in the United States. You go to, let's say, you go to Boston Harbor, or you go to anywhere in Boston. You go to, I'm trying to think of the Old North Church. That was there at the founding of this country. You have that's where some of the revolution was started, was in Boston. And you're really getting a feel for it. It's like, wow, this thing's been here for probably 300-400 years. That's huge. That's a long time. Wow, that's crazy. Then you go to Jerusalem, and 200, 300 years, 400 years, that is nothing. Everything that you want to see in Jerusalem has been there for 2,000 years or longer. So that's really the appeal to it. It's like, this is crazy. This was around when there were still Caesars in Rome, when there was still a Roman Empire. The Roman Empire hasn't been around really since, I mean, if you count the certain, it depends on if you count the Byzantine Empire as the Roman Empire, then yeah, I mean, you're still talking like was it 1200s, I think. So yeah, so there are things that I'm putting out on my bucket list. So I'm really going over right now, just telling you kind of about myself. But like I said, I'm promising nothing except a Mickey Mouse operation here, at least in the short term. And I might just keep that as a kind of a running gag. I might just put a Mickey Mouse in the background of all these videos, at least for a while, just to kind of drive it home. This whole podcast was basically for me to rant and just put my thoughts out on a video platform rather than on paper. I think a video platform just seems more. I think more time. Also, like, I don't feel like getting writer's cramp anymore by writing all my stuff down, and I just don't get the same kind of vibe typing stuff out that I do from actually speaking it. So my wife has been really supportive on this. She wants me to just kind of, hey, get this off your chest, get yourself off of the social media platforms as much as you can. And that way I'm spending more time with my kids. I think everybody who's watching this, I'm going to express a huge, big deal. This is a big deal. I would recommend get off of your social media as much as possible. And if you have kids, spend more time with your kids. If you don't have kids, spend more time at the gym. Spend more time at work. Make that money. Put more effort into your personal life, whether it's you yourself, your physical fitness, your mental fitness, your financial fitness, whatever it is. Put more into your life than into social media, because part of the reason I want to do these videos as well is so I can just put my rants. Everybody sees my rants on Facebook and Twitter. Everyone sees them. All right. What good is it? In the words of Hillary Clinton, what difference does it make? Nothing. It's not a big deal. So I'm putting these rants out here just to put it out there. I chose the whole name of Filthy Heathens primarily because it was kind of the most offensive thing I could think of to call somebody without it really, with it being still kind of funny. Like if someone called you a filthy heathen, you'd be, what the hell, filthy heathen. So that's why I went with that for the show. And like I said, I just hope that it kind of keeps taking off, and maybe it does. If not, this is just a good way, like I said, to get myself off of social media as much as possible, spend more time with my kids, spend more time with my wife, and kind of focus on the things that maybe we should be focusing on. Things like, for example, my daughter's a year old. She is still not sleeping through the night. So we need to work on that. And we had her one year appointment recently, and the doctor was like, yeah, we got to work on that. We got to get that figured out. So that's something we're going to be working on this weekend. It's something we're going to probably have to work on for at least a full week, and we'll see how it goes. We've got a lot of things going on, and I'm, again, trying to get a promotion at my job. So I'm working on that as well. So I need to put more emphasis into me and my family. So there's a lot of things going on. Sorry about that. So there's a lot of things going on, and I really need to make sure that I'm still kind of having an outlet for the hobby. The hobby is, like I said, politics and culture. I'm a big fan of those, so I really want to make sure I can kind of put my voice out there as much as possible. If any of you are wondering, though, going forward, at least until I say otherwise, when I talk about politics, when you hear those kind of things, what you're going to see is I get most of my information from a few sources. I'll generally get it from, and they're usually specific people or specific actual sources. So, for my more conservative, source is going to be the Daily Wire. So right now, that's going to be the main source for my conservative sources. A more libertarian source I use is Reason, Reason Magazine, Reason.com. That's kind of more libertarian. How I have the political spectrum is a lot different than what you'll be told on the news. It's a lot different than what you'll be told in college courses. It's really different than that. So I always view Reason as kind of a far right wing publication. The Daily Wire is kind of a mainstream right wing publication. So that's kind of how I view it. For more centrist view, I will go to either Dave Rubin or Tim Pool. So those are the more centrist views. Those are basically former Democrats who can't stand the party's far left slant. So that's where I get my kind of center left kind of views from. If I want far left stuff, I mean, I can turn on any cable news channel besides Fox, and even Fox is kind of, I don't know where they are right now. So I really stopped watching cable news a long time ago. But if I need a left wing slant on the news, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, I can get that anywhere I want. And if I really want the far left whack job stuff, I can just go on Twitter and I can punch in Bernie Sanders or AOC, and I'll get whatever the commie propaganda is for the day. So that's where I'll be getting most of my information. And so if you are wondering, that's basically my news sources right there. And I kind of just put together my own opinion on things. For example, I saw an article today, I'm not sure if it was tongue in cheek, but someone put down on the Daily Wire that the term Karen should be considered an anti-white racist slur. And on one hand, the case that was made was actually pretty good, but on the other hand, I'm like, we do not need to keep adding racial slurs we do not need any more racial slurs. Just stop being a jerk and you'll be fine. So that's what I was kind of looking at. But yeah, that's where I'll get most of my sources from. That's where I'll get most of my news from. Speaking of which, if you are a Daily Wire subscriber and if you haven't watched Run, Hide, Fight, that is a really good movie, and I hope that one of the major streaming services picks it up because it is such a good movie. So I would recommend if you just signing up for the Daily Wire just to watch that movie. It is that good. So it is kind of a touchy subject. Maybe there's a lot of violence. It's about a school shooting scenario. So definitely you'll want to maybe put the kids to bed, or unless the kids are a little bit older. But yeah, those will be where I get most of my info from. And the two places you'll be able to get this, get my ranting and raving from, is going to be mostly on YouTube. So on YouTube's, I have my channel's called Filthy Heathens. It will have a logo of just a generic picture of Jesus healing, a cripple, so something like that. And so just look that up. Go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and subscribe my stuff. So that way I can hopefully build this thing up. If you don't like it, then dislike it. I don't care. I'm just going to keep posting this stuff until hopefully it either catches fire or I just get tired of talking, which, again, anybody who knows me knows I usually don't get tired of talking. I talk for work. I mean, that's my whole job. So there's that. And then I also have my locals page. It's filthyheathens.locals.com. You can check that out as well. I definitely recommend doing that. So it's kind of like it's a newer version of Patreon. The only difference is that if I do build a good, solid community, if I decide to leave locals, I'll have your guys' information. If I decide to build my own website, I can take that website to, I can take that information to that website and, send it out and just be like, hey, you guys want to, come over to this page over here. So unlike Patreon, who the reason why locals was even created was because Patreon decided to just cancel somebody's, a big name Patreon guy, just because he said something they didn't like on somebody else's not Patreon channel like a year prior, and they just completely deleted his entire account. Took all the money that was given to him and just literally canceled him. So to kind of avoid that, I went to locals.com instead. So if you do want to support my work, go ahead and go there. Again, like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And this is mostly how I'll be interacting with people on the interwebs, on Facebook and Twitter. I'll just be posting all this stuff here. So I think that's about enough from me, because all I've been doing is talking about myself for the last 30 minutes or so. Like I said, I think on Saturday night, Sunday morning, whichever one works with my schedule, I'll be talking about the 2020 election, what I think happened, what I think is going on, what I think you should expect from our new president going forward, what you can expect from our former president going forward, and kind of maybe even a look forward to 2024. Definitely 2022 and 2024. And then also, since the Super Bowl is going to be on Sunday, I'll probably give you my predictions, my thoughts on the game, and just the Super Bowl as a cultural event in general. If you guys have anything going on, if you guys are watching this video on YouTube, please leave a comment. Apparently, it's a big deal now to try to help with the algorithm. So leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. If you want to support my work, go to filthyheathens.locals.com and give me your money. So I think I have it set at about $5 a month if you want to support my work. So other than that, I really appreciate you guys sticking through this 30 minutes of nonsense. And like I said, going forward, I am promising you nothing but the most low budget, unoriginal content that you have ever seen. And if you do like it, I appreciate it. If you don't like it, well, come on back maybe next time. All right. Thanks, guys.